AHAYAH, and welcome to another edition of Coitimes, Children of Israel Times in the Days of Prophecy.
So this begs the question, why is training military sheriffs receive military equipment and then special forces training alongside SWAT? The lines are
God watching devastating video is made up for that came out of nowhere.
We are building a wall on the southern border, which is absolutely necessary. Believe me, we have to close down our government. We're building that wall.
Let's get Revelation 16 and 19 first.
Revelation chapter 16, verse 19.
Go ahead.
And the great city was divided into three parts.
That great city was divided into three parts. Didn't he say of a great earthquake before that?
Verse 17.
Go ahead.
And there were voices and thunders and lightnings. And there
Shalom,
was a great
brothers and
earthquake, such as what
This is Sister Kana, and welcome to another edition of
There was a great
Coitimes,
earthquake.
Children of
as
Israel
it
Times
was
in
not
the Days of Prophecy.
First and foremost, I have to give all glory and praise to AHAYAH, AHAYAH, Bahashem Yeshaya, Wakwadash Wak. Shalom, Israel. Okay, this is a special report, and as you all know, I have been doing several different news reports, but this report is basically focusing on the CIA infiltration within the Hebrew Israelite community. Now, I pray that you take the time to really listen to this video. Please share it and like it and send it out, because I'm gonna try my best to give you a lot of information about what's going on in the Hebrew Israelite community as far as infiltration. As you all know, that I'm residing in Jordan, and I've been here for some time. It's going on 10 years now. And as you all know who watch my channel, I've always said that the Most High sent me out. And you can watch my videos on how I came out and things like that. But I want to get straight to the point, but I need to say certain things to you so that you can, to bring you up to speed. The Most High sent me out to Jordan, and when I arrived in Jordan, for those of you who watched my video speaking about the infiltration, there was a woman down in Petra. She was a Edomite woman who had two black daughters. And what she said to me was very alarming when I first met her. I told her, because of the Most High is why I came out. And I didn't know all about being Hebrew Israelite as of yet. And she told me that the children of Israel wasn't coming. I had told her that there was a lot of black people in Egypt, and that they were going to come out of America because America was going to be destroyed. That was my main premise of our conversation. And because she was from America, she too was from New York, and she had two black daughters, I was hoping that she understood, what I knew, that we needed to come out of Babylon. But her response to me threw me aback. She told me that they wasn't coming. And she said it like, God told me to tell you they wasn't coming. So it alarmed me so greatly, because I knew that all these people were in Egypt, and that what the Most High had showed me, that they were coming. But after all this that I've been through with this infiltration, with me going back and forth with Elder Gocc, and why I had been in constant battle with this brother who claiming to be a Hebrew Israelite and who know these scriptures, but yet he constantly has been speaking against me the whole time. I understand perfectly why that woman told me they weren't coming. Because there was a huge CIA infiltration on the Hebrew Israelite community, and they had designed this whole thing to make sure that the children of Israel did not get to Jordan. And they were surprised when I showed up there. They did not expect that a woman would come into Jordan and, talking about you know, the things that I was talking about, that America was going to be destroyed. That woman told me they're not coming. And so I've been sitting here all this time waiting on the children of Israel. And although some have come, praise AHAYAH B'Hashem Yeshaya, because I know what he told me, that they were coming. They have been trying. I've been in a constant battle with my own brother, Elder Gocc, on why, and holding the children of Israel back from coming to Jordan. That's his whole premise. And I know he tiptoes around a lot of other subjects, but whenever he's speaking about anybody, he always has to mention this woman in Jordan. So brothers and sisters, I pray and I urge that you listen to this video and take the time to hear me explain to you about the CIA infiltration. I have been in the midst of it. It started very early on when I got to Jordan, and I contacted Elder Gocc, and I told him that I was here and that he needed to come to Jordan to see this place, because this place was full of biblical history all through it, that he had to come, and he never came. And that woman told me that they're not coming. Why? Because they have been taken down by the CIA. It's been a total takedown by the CIA. Esau have had this thing all planned and all mapped out from the beginning, but they did not intend, the Most High, to send out a woman. All these brothers in this truth, all these Hebrew Israelites making these videos, and not one of them are talking about coming out of Babylon. Why? Because they have been taken down by the CIA. All of them. And the only one, and I'm going to explain how this happened, the only one who came out and started to talk about come out of Babylon was Elder Gocc. Now the Most High has shown me them. When I told you my story, I was on the internet, I was searching for months for some confirmation that I had to get out of Babylon, and why. And the Most High, I was all over the internet. I never ran into Elder Gocc or Gocc, none of them. And I was like, I was looking and searching for months, because the Most High put it on my spirit that I had to leave Babylon. I had to get out. And I didn't know why. And so finally I just left. And when I left, I went to Israel. And I sat in Israel for 2 months, and I did not know why I was there. And then one day I was sitting in the park on the internet, because in Israel you can get the internet on your laptop. I was sitting there and I ran across Gocc, Elder Gocc, and Elder Zah telling people, come out of her, my people, come out of Babylon.
We must get ready to leave here. This is the calm before the storm. Something is coming here that you're not prepared to deal with. You can sit here and wait for martial law if you want. We're going to show you that according to the Bible, we have blow-by-blow detail of what's going to happen here in America within the next 2 years, and it don't fare good for you. Read.
Remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goats before the flocks.
Read that again.
Remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans.
Lord told us according to the Bible to remove out of Babylon and come forth out of the land of the Chaldeans. So we must leave before something comes here. Read.
And be as the he-goats before the flocks.
So the 144,000 are going to be the he-goats before the flocks. That's why we're trying to talk to these young men. You're being prepared to lead nations, a multitude of people, if we can just come together. Soon, we're not going to be able to teach out here. They're changing all the laws so that we cannot have the freedom to say what we're saying to you. Soon you're not going to be able to communicate like you're communicating now freely. The only reason they're letting you communicate to find out who they're going to wipe out when it's time. That's why they're allowing you to communicate, so they can know who's the enemy. The only reason they're letting you communicate to find out who they're going to wipe out when it's time. That's why they're allowing you to communicate, so they can know who's the enemy.
The only reason they're letting you communicate to find out who they're going to wipe out when it's time. That's why they're allowing you to communicate, so they can know who's the enemy.
You see, brothers and sisters, it's important for them to find out who the 144,000 is and try to round them up and prepare for destruction of these people. The kings and queens who will rule the earth, they must try to stop the children of Israel. So they're using our brothers to communicate with us and get us all together, and then they will strike and take us down. So having our holy feast days in Atlanta, Georgia, in one place or two isolated locations is the best way for them to round up the 144,000 and get them before they leave Babylon. You have to pay attention to what they're doing. Please do not continue to go to these Passovers in America. They will set us up for destruction. They are planning and plotting to take the children of Israel down. You have to pay attention to this and how slickly and covertly they are putting these things together. It's all to set us up for destruction. Get out of Babylon.
But once I started emailing and reaching out to Elder Gocc, at first it seemed normal. But then I started getting death threats and hacked, and I was getting so harassed, internet bullied. I didn't understand what was going on. I finally ended up in Jordan, where this woman told me they're not coming. And now I completely understand why this woman would have the nerve to say this to me. Because she was part of it. She was sitting in Petra, watching, making sure that no one showed up there. And when I showed up there, she was surprised. But she made it clear to me to tell me they wasn't coming. Why? Because they had already taken down the men of the Most High. They had already taken everybody down. And let me tell you, they did not know who the Most High was going to raise up until the person would come out and start speaking. And that's when Elder Gocc started talking on the street, telling people to come out of Babylon, that we needed to leave. Then, and he also spoke about how they would come and take pictures of him and watch him and surveillance him, and that they probably had a dossier on him, and so on and so forth. And they did. And then they sent out these two women, two sisters, Vera and Lara. Those sisters were the ones who, in a video, which I will post, they show up at a GOCC meeting. And they had this dossier on this brother. So they would use these women to take this brother down because they knew that he had a weakness for women. So I'm sure they planned this out. So you all know the story, for those of you who've been part of this. Vera 747 was the head woman at GOCC for a couple of years until she got busted, and it was showing, everybody caught on to the fact that she was a farce. And then all of a sudden she just disappeared. No one talks about Vera 747. Nobody says anything. They just swept her under the rug. But I didn't forget. You know why? Because she was harassing me. They were sending me death threats, all kind of threatening emails, letters. For years she was doing this. And then finally, praise AHAYAH, Bahashem Yeshaya, I can say that it was known. I was able to show that this woman was a farce. And it came out, and other people started posting videos about her.
I'm in pain. I'm kind of sad. But it's not about me. It's about the Creator. And I know that if I'm feeling this way, that He is feeling this way, because He is the one that sees what takes place in the dark. He needs no light to see it. And so if I see just a glimpse of the peace and He sees the whole, then what I'm feeling is nothing. And I say that to say, do not and stop taking things personally, because it's not about you. It's not about me. It's about him. And so what topics I discuss or other people discuss, take the topic for what it is instead of internalizing it as yourself.
Okay, so here you will see Vera 747 at the height of her worst acting career, where she's trying to convince people about polygamy. She has the nerve to sit and try to do a video on polygamy like she's so in pain about it, when her twin sister was living with and traveling with Elder Gocc, who is married with children. And they both know this. So here's Vera 47 trying to act like she's in pain about polygamy, when her sister is traveling with an elder, of the church, knowing that this man is married. So the farce that has been going on in the Hebrew Israelite community, and then everyone acts like they don't know, have no idea what's going on. So I'm just going to play a little more of this clip so you can see the bad acting on this sister, and how she just, goes on and on, knowing that her twin sister is parading around with a married man in the church of something that they don't believe. This sister is practicing witchcraft right now, delving in all forms of astrology and everything else, and I'm sure her sister is down with it too. But this is the people in the Hebrew Israelite community parading around like they love the Most High so much. Okay? So I'm just going to let you hear some more of this nonsense, and then we're going to continue on.
Those who have just learned who they are, and will draw in those of a lustful nature as the very reason for them to put on the law. Many are falling by the wayside. Many sisters are falling by the wayside and becoming damaged goods worse than they were before they learned who they were. There's a group by Simon Adloff who is teaching African heritage of Israel. And he is teaching a doctrine of polygamy rather than the doctrine of the Spirit and the doctrine of the gospel. And having the men take all their energies to leave the wives that don't agree and follow after wives of China and Africa and other places that will be docile and agree to whatever enjoyment that they desire while living in this flesh. There are numerous groups besides him. Some of them have righteous men who live this lifestyle righteously. But what they forget is the whole. For not all things are beneficial.
Now, as you can see in this picture of Elder Gocc, he is wearing his wedding ring. Elder Gocc was married before he left Babylon initially. And the CIA got to him before he actually left. And Vera and Lara, these two sisters, showed up on the scene. And they left Babylon with Elder Gocc, along with Elder Lawyer. They split up Elder Gocc and Elder Zah, and Elder Lawyer was now traveling with him, who is also a CIA plant. So they all left Babylon under the guise of these two sisters, and one of the sisters, Lara, has been hiding the whole time, and Vera was the outspoken one who was doing the YouTube pages and, controlling everything, because Vera is married to an Edomite police officer who very well Jewish and who's kind of controlling this whole thing. So you have to put the scenario together. So once Vera was exposed and taken down for the fraud that she is, the sister Lara continued traveling with Elder Gocc as his wife. But an elder cannot have more than one wife. He was already married. He has children. And, when he started in this truth, the CIA split him and Elder Zah up. moved Elder Ricard away from his family and everyone and started traveling with these people. Elder Lawyer was also indoctrinated and put into a position of eldership when he also is a plant. You have to pay attention to what is going on, and they're grooming him to eventually, move in a position of power. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I'd urge you to look out. Now, why is all this important? Because if Elder Ricard has a handler, which is this woman Lara now, who is under the instruction of her sister and her sister's husband, just paying it, keeping a handle on everything Elder Ricard says and does, we can easily, as a nation, be taken down. And I'll show you how. This is one, for instance. I gave you information about how Elder Ricard has been doing a secret society hand signs and all of these things. Then someone brought to my attention about the graphics in their YouTube videos. There's a lot of Illuminati signals and symbols, and this is how this handling of Elder Ricard is being utilized against the children of Israel, along with other CIA plants and people being sent out. Normally, they use a lot of people in the army. Army people are usually MK Ultra, under all kind of mind control, chipped, under medication. But this is how Elder Ricard is being used against his people, starting with these two sisters, and now it is branched on into something much, much bigger. Her sister, Lara, is still lurking in the background. So I want you to pay attention as I go through this information of how CIA have taken down the children of Israel slowly but surely, so much to the fact that GOCC is actually using witchcraft to keep the people still and holding our people still with all this unimportant information. Nothing is telling you to get out or prepare or for what is about to come. They are using all kind of symbolisms, hand signs, witchcraft, and they're keeping our people still. Now, for the longest, I've been saying, like, what is it? It's like everybody's in a daze. Our people are sitting here watching these videos of GOCC over and over, talking about the same thing over, but no preparation. What is going on? And then someone pointed out to me the flower de-lease that the GOCC is using in their opening part of their videos. This is a very satanic flower that the Illuminati uses, the Pope uses. They use it for all kind of symbolism for the dark side, for Satan. It's called the devil's flower. Flower de lis. It's a France occult, high-level, satanic, symbolic flower that the Illuminati use to for occult symbolism. They use it to attract people. They use it for all kind of sexual innuendos for children and all kind of things for homosexuality. So GOCC is using this symbol as an opening introduction on their videos. High-level witchcraft, and it's a Freemason Masonic symbol that I'm sure it's like hypnotizing our people. Our people are sitting still while these men are using witchcraft to keep our people still. The scripture says, our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. I urge you to go and do some research on this flower and how they use it as an occult symbol. And I'm going to show you a clip on this. So I pray that you be patient. Take your pens out, write the name of this flower down, and do your own research. Okay, so let's go into the symbol of the Fleur de Lis. It's a very high-level satanic symbol that they use for conditioning. It's very connected to witchcraft, and they will use this kind of conditioning to program people to do what they want to do. They use it for the Boy Scouts of America and all kind of homosexuality. They use this symbol and this witchcraft connected with the book God and Goddesses. I know you've seen Elder Ricard and Elder Lawyer reading out of this book. This is how they cast spells, and they're actually doing it with high-level symbolism, and also with the music and suggesting certain things. This is why Elder Ricard is always on this sodomite watch. Everything is about homosexuality. They are conditioning our people to still be in that demonic mode of Babylon. So he's keeping this thing going by using these kind of symbolisms, and also his hand signs letting the elite know that he won't give away their secrets. So, I mean, you have to really go into this information, because I'm not sure how many other symbols that they're using, but I'm sure there's a lot. So if you start researching this kind of information and seeing what is being done, there's a reason why the children of Israel are sitting still in America, and no one has any kind of inclination to get up and leave. And all Elder Ricard is saying is, don't go to Jordan. Don't go to Jordan, because they're programming you not to leave and not to get up and do anything. They're keeping that whoredom spirit on the children of Israel, promoting homosexuality and projecting that energy. All Elder Ricard ever talks about is homosexuality. This symbol is witchcraft, that is in how they use it to program and condition people. Please pay attention and do your homework on these kind of symbolisms. We have no idea. We don't know. We can't even fathom the level of which these people are using witchcraft. We know about the vortexes, and that America is trapping in the demons and all these kind of things. And Elder Ricard, with these kind of symbolisms, is actually putting our people in trances so that people don't have the idea to leave and don't really know what to do. They're sitting in. I understand that some of the GOC locations where they used to teach classes, they changed the location into these places, just like the Jehovah's Witness use, where there's no windows. People are not getting proper air, ventilation and stuff, and they're programming people to stay still. They're not encouraging people to get their passports. Nothing like that is being done at these GOCC meetings. So you have to pay attention of the high-level witchcraft that is being used against our people. And they are being conditioned to break the laws, like having Gentiles for wives and, these kind of things. They're not even trying to get them to, get out of breaking the laws of the Most High. Because as long as we're sinning, Esau stays over us as a people. So you have to pay attention of why this using witchcraft and doing these demonic things is so important to keep the children of Israel still, the 144,000 from coming out of Babylon. So as you can see, this symbol in this, flower is considered the devil's flower, and it's used in very high level satanic and symbolic ways to lure, condition, seduce even children and adults. So our brothers, as much research as they do and as much information as they have, they know very well when they're using something as that high level, and satanic as this symbol is. It's a symbol for Freemasonry and, a high level occult symbolism. So Elder Gocc is responsible and should know not to be using these kind of symbolism in his openings of his things, and also with the very satanic and evil pictures that they're uploading with blood dripping down and the Jewish Star of David, and there's always some wickedness all through their channel, along with the programming of Sodom watches and sexual innuendo in alluring conversations all the time. It has to stop, and you have to wake up and stop subjecting yourself to this kind of witchcraft and sorcery. And I want you to just take a look again and to see the type of hand signs that our Elder Gocc is throwing up on most of his videos. And if he's not doing it, then you'll have Shapal throwing up these signs as well. He is surrounded by handlers and people who are watching him. Ever since he was separated from Elder Zah, they were taken down, and this is the sign letting the elite know that he will not give away the secrets. Okay, like coming to Jordan at the holy mountain is in Jordan. He has to throw up these type of hand signs to let the elite know that he will not give away the secrets.
But this is just part of it. There's so many instances that happened to me here, that people who came out to distract me and to sabotage what I was trying to do when I was, doing the Kadesh and trying to help show people where the wilderness it was in Jordan. People came out. All kind of things would happen here, where they tried to put one of the Bedouin guys who really helped me in jail to move him out of my way so that I couldn't, get help and for different places that I, needed to be and these kind of things. They sent Israelites out to help sabotage the work of the Most High. But it all came to naught. But nevertheless, Lashawan, he's a doctor, and may I add, a military doctor for 30-something years. This brother came out here pretending like he was trying to do the work of the Most High, but he was here just to sabotage everything. So I want to let you know, brothers and sisters, you have to watch our people. They seem to use a lot of military people. Now these people have gone under, what the military does. It's just like programming. It's just like training and reprogramming you. So our people who are part of the military, and I hate to I'm not trying to demonize all people who are in the military, but you better be careful, because they do a lot of reprogramming, MK Ultra and these kind of things in the military. And a lot of people have all kind of psychological issues. It's high level. What our people who have been through the military with this high level programming. And if you get out of it, it's a blessing. Usually you're hurt, your limbs are gone and all that, but for those people who have been programmed and they are used to go out on assignments, they will use them. Well, anyway, Brother Lashawan came out spending money all in the Bedouin area with these poor, broke Bedouin people, trying to buy land in Petra, which is a 7 Wonders of the World heritage site. Now, anybody in their right mind know that you can't own any property within this area, because it's it's the heritage sites. The government is running that. So this situation ended up on the news, all through Jordan, about how the Jews was trying to buy land. Now, I'm not sure if he was sent out by the Jews to come there, because Petra have a problem with the Jewish. The Muslims and Arabs don't like the Jewish in Israel today. They would try to send out spies. The Israelis, the Jewish, would send out spies to come and try to buy land. So the Arab people would get up in arms, because they don't want them Jewish people coming there claiming any part of their land. So here you got this black Israelite now who comes and tries to act like he's coming as an Israelite to buy land. So of course, everybody was up in arms in Petra about the Jew coming to buy land. But it was all on the news, havoc broke out just because this brother comes down there with this nonsense and trying to act like he's innocent, but yet he's causing problems down there, so much so to make it bad for others who would try to come. They knew we would be coming there eventually, so they try to put all kind of things in our way so to make it hard for us to be in Jordan and be in Petra. But praise AHAYAH Bahashem Yeshaya that it did not work. And there's been a series of people who come down trying to buy land in Petra when it's a 7 wonders of the world heritage site that the government owns. It's nothing but problems. So I just want to tell you some of these things that the CIA and the powers that be have been doing against the children of Israel, using our own people, Israelites. Because Matthew 24, it warns us, it tells us that, our people, possibly the elect, would be deceived. But he said false prophets would arise, and that it possibly would deceive the elect, the very elect. Okay, brothers and sisters, so I'm trying not to be all over the place, but I want you to hear what I'm saying. There's a reason why Elder Gocc is telling you, don't go to Jordan. They do not intend, or they did not intend for us to make it here. They have been trying everything to stop and deter the children of Israel, so much so that they are using witchcraft. And on these videos as you're watching. Now I showed you this clip, what the Fleur de Lis means and what it is. And it's a symbolism that GOCC is using on their videos. Now, there could be hundreds of other symbols, because unless Elder Gocc goes into this kind of information, you'll never get it. It seems like the only truth people seem to get is only the truth that Elder Gocc gives. Nobody else is really coming out with the fallen angels, information on the planets, information, and secrets of the time. So the Most High he is dealing with this church, but Satan has this church under attack. The brothers have been taken down, and so I pray that you hear and that you act on this information, and don't be just lulled to sleep with information that you've been hearing for the last 3 and 4 years over and over and over. How many teachings on hell can you tolerate? How many teachings on hell can you stomach? How many coming out of Babylon videos can you watch? I mean, brothers and sisters, you have to wake up and get out of Babylon. Destruction is coming, and Jordan is the only safe place. I recently did a video on a sister, Ashley, who was also sent out. She was an army personnel who's still being paid by the army. She was special ops, and she basically came here just to cause confusion, separation among the brethren, and do all kind of havoc like that. This is what these people do. Because the Most High said that he will protect those within his borders, there's nothing that they won't bring physical harm to you. But if they can convince you to get on the wrong holy days, to stop believing that you need to even come out, they'll go back to Babylon after being here for a while. But the whole time that they're here, they're spewing all kind of nonsense out their mouth to different people, trying to deter people and distract people and convince people to either go back home or go into Israel, because they know that Israel is just going to be like Babylon. It needs to be cleansed, and there will be a high level destruction there. But they'll turn everything around, and that's what they're using Elder Gocc for. He initially came out with the "come out of her, my people," before they switched the narrative. They got you to confide in him, to love him, to trust him because of the information that he was giving. Just like the scripture said, he would do signs and wonders. You are amazed by the information, the teaching that Elder Gocc came. But you have to remember that the powers that be, they knew the name of the Most High too. They knew the name of the Most High. So if they gave it to you as, give it to one of the brothers to feed it to you, then you're all measurement. That's why he always brings up giving the name, that he gave you his name. But there's other things that the Most High have, like the Holy Mountain. The Holy Mountain is here in Jordan. The Red Sea crossing. How about where Jerusalem is, which is Masada? These are the things that's pertaining to AHAYAH Bahashem Yeshaya. These are his secrets that he has given. You know, and I'm trying to give you this information so you'll go into it and look. They're not going to tell you where the Holy Mountain is. They will not give away that information. They will not tell you where the real Jerusalem is. They don't want you to know. They will feed you with unnecessary information over and over and over until it's time of destruction. Just like in 70 AD, it was the priests, it was the elders, it was the same situation where they had our brothers and sisters sit still. They're just doing the same thing again. They switched the narrative. First, Elder Gocc was, "Come out of her, my people, come out of her, my people, come out of her, my people." And so much so that he had a migration set up. All that has stopped and ceased. And now he's sitting in Babylon building churches. When all Hades is breaking loose in America and worldwide, and the only safe place is within the Most High's borders. Wake up, Israel. Let me get back into, so you watch this video about the symbolism. They are using high-level witchcraft on our people, spinning balls with all kind of, symbolism around it. You don't know what you're watching unless you go dig deep into this information. Israel is destroyed from a lack of knowledge. Because this information has been hidden for thousands of years, you're relying only on Elder Gocc to give you the information. Brothers and sisters, our people have been taken down. And yes, Gocc, the GOCC church is the one true church, but Satan is at war with that church, just like the scriptures say. The Satan will make war with those who keep the commandments and have the testimony of Christ. And GOCC is the only one who is keeping that to the letter. These other Israelite groups, either they have reincarnation, which is not of Christ. They talking about the Comforter is this man and not the Holy Spirit. That's not of Christ. They don't believe in the baptism, the water baptism. That is, if you don't believe in the water baptism, you are anti-Christ. You must understand that. If you don't believe in the New Testament, the second book of the Bible that was given, the New Testament, that's antichrist. You do not have the testimony of Christ. All these things, if you don't believe the teaching if you believe resurrection and you're going to be resurrected and all these things are not of Christ. You do not have the testimony of Christ. So it narrows down to GOCC is the only one who actually had the testimony of Christ. But Satan is at war with this church. They are under attack. And you are sitting still waiting for Elder Gocc, and he can't tell you anything. He is using all kind of hand signs, all kind of Masonic symbolism, all kind of witchcraft to keep the people still through the music, I'm sure. When that album drops, y'all better beware, because I'm sure they're going to use that too. People, wake up. They are going hard at the children of Israel. Esau has not stopping, and he will not let up. You must come out of Babylon before it's too late. Trump said he can build that wall in 1 year. There will be no in and out of Babylon if you don't come out. And every time you try to talk to people about this stuff, they get confused because it's witchcraft. You start getting, when I start saying CIA, listen, these brothers have been taken down. People just get confused. They can't receive it because you're being blocked. They have mastered this whole thing. You have to stop now and just get out before it's too late. These are very heavy demonic, just like the vortex symbol in Washington, D.C. They have trapped in the demons. They are doing it on a very high level that our people, you can't even perceive that our brothers would be involved with something like this. Elder Gocc is surrounded by these Freemason people. They split him and Elder Zah up, and that's what it is. It happened years ago. Now you're just being programmed and you're just going along. Wake up, Israel. Get out. They took Elder Gocc down with the Vera and Lara, and they've been monitoring him, putting out the information. Lawyer, Chapal, the GOCC brother in New York. All of these people have surrounded Elder Gocc. Ain't none of them right. Get out of Babylon. All of them. They have been taken down. I urge you to please hear what I'm saying. Consider it. Go into the information. Write down the name of that symbol, the Fleur de Lis, and see the high level. I showed you the clip. These people that have come out here, they still sending people out here. There's a brother out here that brother Kenyon, he's over in Israel. They have a brother here who's here to just funnel people over to Israel. They go on my page and try to make comments to attract people. There's so many others that you have to be careful. The Most High said that the wheat will be mingled with the tare, and he was not going to root them up until he comes. So these people are going to be among us. You have to know what you need to know, so that nobody can deceive you. There have been so many deceptions. And also you got Elder Gocc, who you love and trust, telling you, don't speak against the elders. There's a reason why he's saying these things. They use the scriptures against you. They use these scriptures against you. Use our law against us. So that we know we're not supposed to talk against our brothers. We know that we have to operate in love and, and all these things. We know we're supposed to do that. But when you got people among you who have been infiltrating and taken down, you have to speak. You have to tell what's going on. You got to tell what these people are doing. Just like they'll take us down on our Sabbath days because they know that we're keeping the law and we're going to rest. So they use that time to take us down. Everything in our book they have been using against you. Brothers and sisters, wake up and speak up. Don't be afraid. Don't let nobody put you into a trance mode at this time. This is not the time. We cannot gather together singing Kumbaya right now. Please pay attention. In the name of AHAYAH Bahashim Yeshaya, some of us have to survive through this. 2/3 are going to be cut off. I pray that you hear me. I pray that you take heed to this information. I pray that you go into this information. There's so much. I'm sure that's one symbolism that the GOC, but I'm sure there's many. Please, brothers and sisters. And lastly, I want to say, Satan and Esau, they have working this thing so well that they actually got a group of Edomites here and down in Aqaba who are waiting. First of all, they're claiming to be the children of Israel. They're claiming to be the Hebrews because they're so confident that the children of Israel is not going to make it to Jordan, that they're going to exterminate us all, that they got a group of Edomites claiming to take our place when the time comes. Because AHAYAH will have a nation to call by his name. He will have one. Even if it's not the true Jews. Because remember in Deuteronomy 28, that was the fine print that our forefathers didn't read. That they thought that they couldn't go into captivity. They thought that they could not get destroyed. They thought that would never happen to them. But it was written in the Bible. And just like today, there's a fine line, there's a fine clause in the scriptures that he says that if Esau can measure the depths of the sea or the length of the sky, that he will do away with his people. So that's why you got Esau measuring the depths of the sea and trying to see the length of the sky and measure these things, because there's a possible way that they can get in. So they got these Edomites down in Aqaba waiting and claiming to be Hebrews, waiting to take Israel's place. Because if we don't come out and stand and survive through this thing, Esau will then get it by default. Israel, wake up. They got this thing all planned out while you sitting still listening to GOCC videos. I pray you hear me, please. I pray in Yeshua's name. I give all glory and praise to AHAYAH, AHAYAH, Bahashem Yeshaya, Wakwadash. Shalom.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is Sister Kana, and welcome to another edition of Coitimes, Children of Israel Times in the Days of Prophecy.
So this begs the question, why is training military sheriffs military equipment, and then special forces training alongside SWAT? The lines are
God watching devastating video. It is made up for Mark. That came out of nowhere.
We are building a wall on the southern border, which is absolutely necessary. Believe me, we have to close down our government. We're building that wall.
Look at Revelation 16 and 19 first.
Revelation chapter 16, verse 19.
Go ahead.
And the great city was divided into three parts.
That great city was divided into three parts. Didn't he say of a great earthquake before that? Go ahead.
And there were voices and thunders and lightnings. And there was a great earthquake, such as what...
This is Sister Kana, and welcome to another edition of
There was a great
Coitimes,
earthquake.
Children of Israel Times in the Days of